Hello, welcome to Easy Grow Podcast with Richmond Emmanuel, the author of The Blind Spot of Every Customer. This podcast today is meant to help you turn your sales process to highly successful activity in a world of noise and more. So stay tuned as we dive into it. Welcome back. In today's podcast, we will be considering the topic beyond sales, build friends. This is an amazing topic. I want you to pay attention to it. That beyond sales, we must be focused on building friends. Sales is a must. You cannot deny the fact that you were a salesperson from the day you began to speak. As a toddler, let me not say a baby, but as a toddler, or even a baby, you sell your idea, you sell your intention to your mother or to your parents, by beckoning on them to give you something, crying about something. You wanted a chocolate and you have to cry, mama, and all that to drive attention. So as from childhood or even as a baby, we had always been clamoring for attention, and sales is about grabbing the next person's attention to actually do what you want them to do for you. So sales in most time or in most cases is selfish or it's not really selfless, it's selfish, because you want something, you want somebody to buy something, you want somebody to buy into an idea, and you're trying to get them to really come and pay for it or possibly become part of that vision or idea. So sales is a must. Sales is a must. But the thing that we should consider, or most importantly, is that sales is an element of negotiation. Sales is about negotiation, and that's all about sales. Before people could force you to buy something, really want you to buy or force a product on you or force an idea on you, and most times out of emotion, you have to respond to it, and you really didn't have room enough to negotiate. And when you got home, you realize that I really didn't want to do this. I didn't want to buy this product, or I didn't want this, but for the sake of what would they say, or I started a business and you did not help me out and all that. I brought my business to you, or I gave you an offer, so we tried to fit into other people's shoes, really not to hurt them. But over time, that has evolved because we've taken this into the realm of business, the business realm or in the business world. But in the business world, sales is more negotiable. You have to be able to come into an agreement. A negotiation is about finding a common ground to agree on. So it's all about agreement. Can two work together except they agree? And so sales is about agreement. And the thing is about sales today is that it shouldn't be forceful. And if you read my book on the blind spot of customers, it's about selling with purpose, selling with value, selling with a sense of trust and a sense of communing value to one another, as a sense of how would I put it, a transfer or a transaction of value between two persons. So it's not one-sided, but most times we take sales to be one-sided, and that's why we don't get results. And maybe that's why most times we become not motivated about going further to make sales, because we get a whole lot of rejection. And when we get a lot of rejection, sales become very frustrating. But I want to shift your mind from sales to building or boosting or grooming friendship, because sales is about making an offer, but you must make an offer to a friend, just like I said earlier on, when we got to sell to our friend, or to our relative, and they didn't have the choice but get it, to just to get it from us, but at this point, it's not about selling people quack or whack stuff or product and seek sympathy. It's not about seeking sympathy. It's about seeking a common ground where you can build trust, where you can actually address the need of the person you're about to sell to. It's about telling the other person that, look, what I'm selling to you is not about the fact that I want to get your money, or I want to make profit from what I'm doing. Yes, it might be true, or definitely it's true that I'm out to make profit, but look at this. Hey, there's a catch to this. There is something in here for you. And now making a promise that will satisfy needs, and making a promise that deliver a whole sum of value is what sell is all about today. Why? Because we are in the noise. You get to the social media, there's a whole lot of noise. There's a whole lot of content out there. There's a whole lot of product out there, try competing with attention, and the place is getting too noisy, and you've got to be able to penetrate into someone's heart. And to do that, you must create an environment of friendship. And so customers today are really looking at making friends with their product provider. For instance, Nike had been able to create community. Why? Because they've been able to bring product to persons. They serve the need of people, that serve the need of culture, that serve the need of imaginations, they serve the real need of emotions. Basically, most of the buyers or customers today are emotional persons. They are more emotional in buying, but yet they seem not to be emotional. Why? Because there's a lot of information out there, so they are comparing which one and which one and which one is better. But look at, in the midst of being shrewd, in the midst of being careful, there's a deep-seated emotion that needs to be satisfied. And in my book, The Blind Spot of Every Customer, that is the catch, because every customer had a catch into their weakness. There's something down there that they have to satisfy, and that's the blind spot. It's not open to a normal person, is not visible, but it is where they are most vulnerable. And when you are able, I beg your pardon, to address that vulnerability, you are now able to sell to them. You create an atmosphere of friendship. You create an atmosphere of emotion that create a catch. It makes them feel, wow, this person really understands me. And in our digital sales, or in content branding, or in content marketing, and whatever we do, we should be able to communicate value in a way that is highly friendly, so that we could build an atmosphere of trust. And so, because friends, is a friend is guided, or a friend is bound to you based on trust. Because where there is no friends, or where there is no trust, rather, there would be friendship. For instance, if you do not trust your guy or trust your girl, man, that would definitely lead to breaking up. And so you need to build that trust. If customers should stay loyal to you, you need to build that trust. So I want to demystify your mentality from just selling. And there are a lot of people that are out there, oh, Richmond, I just want to sell. How do I make sales? How do I make this sales? How do we grow our sales? Organizations and corporate organizations or management sit down to think tank or brainstorming on how to really grow their sales. But it is not about growing the numbers now. It's not about growing your organizational number. It's not about growing the numbers. You know what I mean? You know, your sales, how much you make. It's in growing the experience that the customers that buy in will definitely bring in more customers, because customers who are friends will definitely bring in other persons. For instance, I wanted to buy a phone the other time, and I was talking to a friend about it. And man, I want to buy this phone that will help me, do the things I want to do my podcast, record whatever I want to record, and do things smartly. And you know what they say? They say, why not go for an Apple product? Because they can trust the durability or the quality and of the iPhone or iProducts or smart products. The MacBook. We say, why don't you go for the MacBook computer, Apple computer, and all that? That they have efficiency and also. But how did they come to that? You realize that what Steve Jobs of blessed memory spent time building was building a community, a product for people who wanted to change the world, of people who was doing something amazing for their world. So they were producing products that will aid them to achieve their dreams. And before you know, people realize that, these people really care about us. They really care about me. So, and this product is about me. And then it moves from just about caring about them to making them feel superior, in the market. That you are holding an Apple product means you're superior, man. So they created a royalty, a kind of a royalty environment for their customers. So when you handle an Apple product, you're like, I'm the king here, I'm in charge. So you see that sense of authority given to a customer or a client to really make them come back for more, really want to do business with you. So it's not about increasing the number here. It's about increasing the experience. It's about making the experience quality enough for them to talk about. It's about making them feel that, wow, this is the real deal. Now that's what it's all about. And so I don't want you to go about trying to make sales. I want you to go about trying to make friends. On your social media posts and whatever you're doing, don't go all attacking. Don't go all out forceful. You get to buy this. If you don't buy this now in our CTA or the call to action, if you don't buy this now, you're going to miss out. Creating that urgency is lovely. Yeah, it's lovely. But that is when if they have need for it, because there are a lot of customers out there who have needs for what you are providing, but they really don't know that they have need for it. And so if it's bringing them to an environment of friendship is where they are able to compromise and really think deep and say, wow, I think I need this. I think I need this. So it's most times creating that sense of urgency is really not working, because there are a lot of people who are sensible or about, should I buy this or shouldn't I buy? I don't think I need this. So how do you bring a customer or a prospect to a point where they believe that they need what you offer and instantly pay for it? Now it's about grooming friendship. It's not about making sales. And so I want you listening to this podcast to change your perspective about selling or making sales. I want to increase, I want to make sales. No, you have to make friends with your customers. You have to create an environment where they come in and have a friendly experience from the top of the funnel, where you create awareness, the point where you acquire them in order to make purchase, or to a point where you convince them actually to pay for it. From that top to the bottom should be an exceptional, streamlined motion of experience that customers can really not end up saying no. they have to end up saying yes, because from the top to the bottom it's consistent. Your emotion is consistent, your tone is consistent, your relationship is consistent, the energy is consistent, what they hear is consistent, and possibly when they ask around about you, it's consistent with what you're saying. That the experience you offer is equivalent to the word you deliver, or the word or what the message you're delivering. And so when a customer comes to this point, they can't really say no. They can't push you away. Why? Because you've gotten to the space of friendship. So we need to come to a point where we befriend our customers and not push them around and not try to make them buy. We get out there on social media, and then for instance, this one is the jerk about it, because you're on social media and you're trying to sell to me. I don't really know you, especially if I'm a Nigerian. We don't just buy like that. Most Nigerian, a lot of Nigerian love free things, and when you offer free, we're looking at where is the money coming in, where is this guy going to tell me to pay, let me know if I should run. So selling to the people with this kind of buying culture or purchase culture, you need to be able to know how to bring them to your payment frame, how to bring them into a system where they really got to pay for what they say they will pay for. And to do that, you must be patient with them. And if I talk about customers paying you instantly for your offer, it means they have gone through a funnel system, or a brand funnel system that enables them to make the decision at the last point that this guy or this person or this product deserve my cash and deserve it again and again. They are not tricking me to get my money. Then it's not a quick cash out process, so I can trust them. And you need to do a lot of homework in order to get to that point. That is what sales is all about. It is an aftermath of an effective marketing and branding process, because without these two in place, I think sales really would not make sense. The sales definitely is in your communication, your mannerism, and everything, to bring a customer to a point of yes. But before or prior to this time, there have been a lot of things that you need to do and underwork. And that's what this podcast is all about. And I'll end this podcast by saying that don't get all out there to make sales. It's really not working. A lot of people wouldn't want to be sold to. People don't want to buy, but they definitely have to buy. But how do you get them to pay? You see the tricky thing, they don't want to part with their cash, they don't want to part with their money. So you must be extremely very, very, very important or valuable for them to really throw their money around. So you don't go out there as a salesperson from today. Go out there as a friend. Make them feel homely, make them feel a sense of friendship, make them feel a sense of community part, make them have a sense of ownership of what you're doing, of your process, and then at the end they will make an offer. Thank you for listening to this podcast, and I pray that you use this tip or this piece of advice and improve on it while you wait for more. Please join me again on this same platform, Easy Grow Podcast, as I bring more growth related ideas and concepts to your doorstep that will give you absolute success all the days of your life with a smile on your face. Thank you for listening to Easy Grow Podcast. My name is Richmond Emmanuel, and I love you.